Hello, guys. Another episode of the Top Drive Show for you this week. So, today we are showcasing the next Tri Series prize car, which is the Bentley Hunaudières. I've got John with me today, as usual. He will walk you through the performance of this car, show you some footage, and then hopefully this will allow you to decide whether you want to take part in the finals starting in Top Drives this Thursday. So, John, to you.
Thanks, Dimitri. So, next prize car. This one is definitely, I think, could be classed as a rare beast. 1999 Bentley Hunaudières. I knew I was going to get that wrong. It's one. There's a few car names in the game that I just can't quite pronounce, and I should know. I mean, it's called after the straight on the Le Mans track. So Hunaudière, I think, is about right. I'm probably just going to call it Bentley for the rest of this. Um, it's a concept car that Bentley produced back in the late 90s. I think it was one of these concept cars that was definitely a sort of kind of technical. Well, I think they produced it so they can put it out into the market and basically gather feedback. It was quite a departure for Bentley. Typically very traditional front engined, sort of kind of luxurious brute force approach to cars. This was far more sort of European. It's a mid-engine concept. But I think that it was fair to say that the brute force bit remained. Uh, Very, very unusual configuration of engine. So a W16, which I think if it weren't for a certain other manufacturer within the larger group of sort of VW, Bentley, Audi, um, that group, it would have probably disappeared without a trace. I mean, basically two V8s, I say bolted together. There's probably a bit more sophistication to that than that, but it's just an unbelievable arrangement. I actually went off, did a bit of research, and found somebody who's actually quite recently went off and built a straight 16 engine. So all the cylinders in line, which is a ridiculous looking thing. It's about 12 feet long. Um, so kind of one of those interesting concept cars, or sort of trying something very different from that manufacturer. In terms of in-game, RQ92, so it's getting pretty high up the hierarchy. Top speed of 217. I mean, that's definitely one of its key strengths. Is that that is starting to get into kind of quite rare territory with that. Very solid 3.3 to 60. And that's obviously a big part of that is just the kind of immense traction. So four-wheel drive system, handling of 90. So this is not a track specialist by any means. It's a big, heavy car, about I think just over 1,800 kilograms. But it was, it's a proper piece of work in the kind of chassis department, and I think that's reflected in that handling. And then kind of as I touched on before, but a lot of these sort of attributes were turned up to the absolute max in the subsequent Bugatti Veyron, which was obviously from the same stable, loosely. And I think there was definitely kind of laid down quite a lot of the groundwork for what went on to become a very, very famous car. So just really solid all-round stats. If our resident data guru Tim put together one of his sort of comparisons. I think probably the standout thing for this Bentley is if you're looking at kind of 90s wet or gravel or dirt events, it's just absolute king. Really nothing else gets close. In terms of kind of within the same manufacturer, the Continental GT3, so obviously very, very rapid, out and out kind of track car, and which can is sort of competitive and around some of the challenges. It's greater handling can be put to use. But that's the thing, anything wet, and it's there's no contest really. The Hunaudières it's just a much stronger all round proposition, really. It's going to jump in quickly and just have a look at a few comparisons for you all. So I thought first up, I put it together another sort of four-wheel drive, but sort of big engine kind of coupe in the form of the kind of it's been a staple of top drives for a long time now. But the 2015 R8 Audi R8 V10 Plus. If we do a 1 mile drag on gravel, but in a way both quite evenly matched. But the Bentley's coming in with an MRA of about 89.2, I think. So it's strong, and I think it's just I love this race because it's they get off very very evenly. Bentley pulls out a little bit of a lead. The R8 actually starts to come back into it. And then it's just those extra long legs of the Bentley start telling. So again, anything kind of high speed bowls or the longer drags in wet or dirt or gravel is going to be the sort of happy hunting ground for this Bentley. Moving on now, this is definitely one of my fantasy race. I just love to see this. Imagine going to a rallycross track, you pull up and you see this Bentley concept racing a equally beautiful or more beautiful in some people's eyes from the 90s Bugatti EB110 Supersport, not even the standard one. And I think here again they're both four-wheel drive, both very rapid cars. Bugatti actually is even faster off the line, but it's just very solid handling in that Bentley, and I think that combination is just makes it quite just a very useful device across a range of challenges. And then for the final race, I think we thought we'd put it up against what we call the kind of probably the 90s favorite in the form of the McLaren F1 LM. So I love this photo. I mean that orange and just the kind of neutral background is just amazing car, and that's a great shot of it. So gonna take it out its comfort zone a little bit here, and put it up a kind of a wet race. But I mean, F1 is not it's not on slicks. It's on performance tires. Put it on the kind of fast circuit, so it's not all about the twists, and that McLaren has a chance to kind of stretch its legs as well, and sort of cancel out the traction side of it. But I think, as you can see, I guess it just kind of highlights that just we're talking about a big difference here. It's not just a little bit of ground that the Bentley opens up. I think with anything on sort of performance tires anything with kind of without benefit of four-wheel drive is just going to really struggle. And actually, it's a very convincing win for the Bentley. So a few races to show you what it's capable of. It definitely splits opinion, I think, in terms of kind of how it looks, what sort of car it is. But it's going to be a useful addition to anybody's collection, particularly for those 90s wet events. So good luck in the battle for that.
Well, this is it, guys. Thank you, John, once again. Another week has passed, and the next Tri-Series finals are about to begin. So I'm wishing you good luck, and hopefully you can get your hands on this Bentley Hunaudière in the nearest future. For now, I will see you in the next episode of the Top Drive Show. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our social links. And I will see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.